This video is sponsored.
Okay, food waste cause damage. Okay, food waste damage environment.
By Skillshare.
The curries or very many vegetables or many foods, many meals, many recipes, like curries, burgers, and Japanese foods, Chinese foods, American foods, pizzas, Italian foods, food is central. Food is important for our survival and also to our culture, and it's very good to judge. Okay, to see where you run, to know where you run, depending on what you like to eat. We love food, yes.
But as much as we love,
We always love delicious food, but we throw it away. Usually, we like to throw it away. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization has estimates that in this planet, okay, globally, almost one-third of foods produced were thrown away before they get eaten. So it's not exaggerating statistics. It's real, and most importantly, the biggest part in this West may goes to the United States. The United States, that the number is even higher than the average. It's about 40% of the United States available food supply gets wasted every year, every single year, and it's from some studies, some reports from the NRDC says that people like buying bags at bags of groceries store, and then just leaving two of them in the parking lot, tiny shop, and just buy too much. So we're gonna look how we have to know what food waste is so a serious problem, because before that we have to ask ourselves three questions. Three questions. First is why we buy the foods more than we can chew. My excessive foods. Why? What's happening? Do you need to eat that much? Why you buy so much? Buy more than you need. That is the first question. Okay. And the second question is why or what will it cost? What will it damage your environment? It's not just the cost of foods or cost of money. It's just no waste of foods and cost of money. It also damages your environment. It hurts your per the earth. It goes some by ecological problem. And how can we avoid it? And that's the question is, how can we avoid it? How can we fix it? How can we improve? Okay, if all the fruits getting if all the fruits getting thrown away or thrown into the landfill every year, landfill, it was one of the routes you can, one of the way you the people usually did. Okay, if we don't waste so many foods, we can feed many people, as many as more than 1 billion. Some studies, some researchers say that more than 1.3 billion, and some says that more than 1.8 billion people. Do you know how much this number is? You can save so much people, so many people. So why we waste so much? Okay, everybody knows many people are suffering from poverty, suffering from hunger. So we have to fix it. We have to try to tackle with this issue. And some studies say that food waste also estimated to be responsible. That was also responsible for roughly 8% of global emission. 8% of global emissions. Yes, that's right. And it was a country that we rank the number 3, rank 3rd. The who were ranked first, China, and everybody know the second must goes to the number 2 must goes to the United States for the biggest, for the most part of greenhouse gas emissions. So food waste is one of the important issues at the climate change. Okay, climate actions or social issues. Although energy need to ship, process, and produce the food that ends up in the trash. Okay, how wasted. But also found some gas. But we have to know some gas was produced from the foods. Foods can emit some gases into the atmosphere, into the sky, into the into the earth, into the space. Okay, when foods decomposes, disorganized in landfills. So we have to figure out how important is this issue that through avoid or decrease food waste is
Just
food.
sprout out of the ground and then magically
We have to know that food waste is not just
there's a long
the waste of your money or the waste of the foods. Is it it contains includes many problems inside this. It contains many issues. We can avoid food waste in the long chain of business and consumer interactions. The long chain, we have to know a product produced were made by a chain of interactions. The interactions was composed of business and consumer part, business part, producer parts, business parts, and consumer parts.
business
Now,
consumer
at any parts of interactions can play a role
perfectly edible
to pertain, to avoid and to prevent the waste or decrease the waste. Some perfectly edible foods
into
were wasted. Simply
butter,
put, food
corn,
transforms into trash in different
into
aspects of the view. At different point of view, food transforms into trash can rapidly classifies into two general areas,
from farm.
and as it goes originated from the front to the finally plate before the point of sale,
Before the point of sale,
a sale
and
before the
after
point of
the
sale,
point of sale. If we look at
point the
before the
point of sale, after the
and
point of
after
sale.
the point of sale. If we look at the
We can
chart,
look at
majority
some
of the food waste
statistics
generated in the
from the
United States
research,
comes after
and we will know that
after the point
uh,
of sale. Let's
we
look
will
at
know
food loss before that on farms and in grocery stores in order to
we
understand
will know that grocery stores play a smaller part of the food waste process.
how
Food waste results.
Before I
Okay, let's check it
transition
out.
to making YouTube video perfect, abundant produce,
And let's first we have to
situated in a net
let's see how the grocery store waste the foods. Grocery stores. One of the
to solve
one we
the
can
dry
see that
perfect
abundant produce
situated
perpetuated
and
an unnecessary trend of food waste.
as a farmhand,
As a farmhand at a number of different farms, we know that insects like to bite vegetables, different vegetables, and after the bites, the vegetables looks back cosmetically, looks back in outlook, and we know that the consumers like the beautiful vegetables, and think that the beautiful ones are good to eat, but but actually the wasted vegetables
because the farm manager knew that local
The
produce will always
backlook
sell over
vegetables
domestic ones.
usually also have the same quality of the
Products, as
good
they've
look
come to be known, can
ones.
often end up
So
on the ground by harvesters or
how
even make their way to
the
landfills, I mean to piles of
the
food that
one of the
decomposes
problems
and
is that
generate
we
harmful
have to
but the aesthetics of the produce
simply
are
put,
still
we have
part of
to
the picture. Market prices for food can also
buy
affect whether crops make
vegetables
it through
n-
the
now
harvest. According to one
depending
recent
on
study that
what they
analyzed
look, how
on-farm
they
food
look,
loss in
and
California,
how they touched. You
83.7% of produce remains
know what they
unharvested
look.
every year.
If the
That's the equivalent
vegetable
of
or fruits
200
looks
acres of cantaloupe
ugly
and nearly
but
100 acres left
no
to decay in the
sprouting
fields.
or
This,
no
according to an article
uh,
from Civil Eats, is exactly what happened to sixth
crushed
generation
crack,
farmer
okay,
named
and
Michael.
you can
Michael
just buy
couldn't
them.
justify paying
You can
workers
even
to pick
buy
the
them with a
cantaloupe because
cheaper
the cost of
at a cheaper
labor,
price. So
packaging, and shipping would
why
have been
don't we
more
buy
than the price he would
those
get for the fruit.
those vegetables and fruits? It's worthy to buy. It's a good way to avoid the
But even if the food
fruits or the
does make it
vegetable and
off the
fruits
farm,
waste.
it still has to navigate
Okay,
the
and
gauntlet of
another way to we can know that at the grocery stores, at the supermarkets, the ISOs, the grounded okay, so sorry, the grounded of grocery stores ISOs, the grounded of grocery store ISOs. They, the workers usually put the beautiful vegetables and fruits in the near the ISOs, in the illusion locations, located locations, and it make and it will catch the consumer's eye because of the beautiful look. And usually the grocery stores also buy too much fruits and vegetables because of this they make it look abundant, and that will attract people's and people will because usually some usually people shop visually. Okay, people sometimes don't think too much, consider too much, don't consider much. They also usually buy and shop visually, and to most the less okay, the most attracted ones are the beautiful fruits and vegetables on the ISOs, placed on the ISO.
Last apple on the shelf was left there because there was something
Okay,
wrong,
then
not because Laney Zayak explained.
there's one. There are some words that party high, pile it high, party high. Watch it fry. Some people at the grocery store say this. That means they need to produce, they need to buy excess of foods to sell better, sell their fruits at a better quantity, a better okay, a better business. But you know, the excess can sometimes lead to more waste, okay, because there's up to the point I would say we check another. The break of check another point. Okay, the break of food waste continues. Indeed, household, restaurants, and food service waste accounts for 69% of the United States annual food waste. This some research say that almost 69% of the United States annual, it means per year, the food waste for comes from restaurant, food service, and household. A consumer, okay. We should know that the refrigerators in the United States grows bigger, becomes bigger and bigger from the early 20s at the late 20th century. At the mid of 20th century and to the late 20th century, it tempted to buy more fruits. What tempting the consumers to buy more fruits because they want to fill up the space. A bigger space in the refrigerators means you can refrigerate more space, means you can fill it up with more fruits. So overbuying, one of the reasons that consumers overbuy the foods is that they have bigger space than ever. Yeah, it's inevitable. The cleaning out of
refrigerator activity that comes with it.
Another it's inevitable to buy much. Okay, and one of the issues that caused the food waste is that the dates of the foods. Okay, the authorities, United States authorities, doesn't regulate the terms
in the United States. There is also a
of
severe lack of clarity when it comes to dealing
expiration dates,
with
expiration dates, use by dates, and many terms like that sell by days, like best buy, best off, and many terms. Okay, best off, use by, expiration date, and like that, and something like that. Yeah, the labels were made by the producers. The label were designed and defined by the producers or retailers, so you have the non particular standard or unique. It was not standardized by the United States authorities. So this is another problem that caused the food waste. And labeling. So labeling is a problem. Okay. We know many actions, many problems, many behaviors, many conditions. Some conditions cause the waste of foods. So how can we fix? How can we improve? How can we avoid it? How can we do better? We need some tangible solutions to these problems at all levels of supply chain. Of the supply chain, I mentioned the supply chain earlier because we can say food at any point, at many points of the supply chain, at many points of the supply chain, at all levels of the supply chain.
To these problems at all
Okay.
levels of the supply chain. At the end of the expired
Other sites like it by date
and composting
to
it
truly understand whatever your fruit has expired, and then
expired
composting it instead of throwing it in
even
the
get
trash.
involved with
You can even get involved with groups like
which has local chapters all
Food
over
Not
the
Bounce is
world
a
that recover food
website.
composting it instead of throwing it in the trash.
It's a group,
Chapters
okay?
all over
It's
the
an
world
organization,
recover
maybe,
food
okay?
from local restaurants and stores.
And we can share the fruits with the people who in need.
And on a
We can
policy
save
level, this
many people by reducing the food waste.
means actions like
Even with
standardizing expiration dates
decrease, we can
actually reflect
decrease the about 10 to 20% of the 10% to 20% the waste of foods. We can save most of the people who are in need. Most people in the world who suffer from poverty, who suffer from hunger, who suffer from any problems that suffer from health issues, health care. We can help many,
and hunger in the process.
and we can tackle the issues to the ecology, to the climate change, and to the hunger.
We
The
don't
process
necessarily
of
need
avoiding in the process of avoiding food waste, we can help people, help the earth. So
fancy farming
we have to know more.
food
We have to
people
and
go.
take actions right away. Don't be hesitated. Don't hesitate. Okay. No more hesitation, and just think about what society, what the earth, what your country is, what your society is, and what the places you live, you want, you will like, and we have to work together to
every level
we can work together on every level to more equitably distribute the create okay
the resources we all distribute
to
resources
distribute
we
the
already have.
resources. We have to equally. We have to contribute the fruits equitably. Okay, equitably. Okay, as much as we can do.
Not only mitigate climate change, but
Also, and we can mitigate the climate change, mitigate the issues in economics. We can, yes. One more thing I want to say is not just safe food is not just to help people and mitigate the climate change, but also decrease the cost, increase your financial increase your financial state, and it helps to boom the economy, to boom it. Yeah, it can minimize the economic problems, financial problems that caused by the poverty, the social issue, poverty. Okay.
Also create stronger learning commutable skill
Okay.
sets.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening.